Hi, I am Scout, and this is my art history final project. I am doing it on Goya's painting, Saturn Devours His Son. This is the painting right here. I have it in the background because I thought it would be fun. So let's get into it. Since the beginning of time and of art itself, mythology has always been a very important part of art. From Arachne and Athena fighting over who's the better weaver, to anything about Aphrodite ever. Holy crap, there is a lot of art about Aphrodite. From Mesopotamia to the Mayan Empire, up until about the Industrial Revolution, art was linked heavily with religion and mythology. So first, let's get into a bit of syncretism, because this is kind of an important topic to go over when discussing Saturn devouring his sons. So, Kronos and Cronus. Now, before Rome, and before syncretism between the Greek and the Roman gods, Kronos and Cronus were the original ones. Saturn is a syncretism of Kronos and a offshoot god from the Roman world. So, when it comes to Kronos and Cronus, Kronos isn't the original god of time, Cronus is. So another good example of syncretism is Hades and Plutus. So Hades became synchronized with the god Pluto once Rome took over, but Plutus was the Greek god of wealth. And due to the similarities between the Greek god Plutus and the Roman name for Hades, Pluto, Hades and Plutus ended up becoming syncretized, making Hades retroactively a god of wealth as well, which makes sense because it's the underworld, it's under the ground, at least according to the Greek worldview. So, Cronus was originally the god of time, and Kronos was originally the god of the harvest, making the part about the sickle when he castrates Uranos make a lot more sense, because without that little bit of context, you'd think, why did the god of time castrate his father with a sickle? Why not any other weapon? Well, it's because Kronos was the god of the harvest, or the titan of the harvest. So, due to the names sounding similar, Kronos, the titan of the harvest, and Cronus, the god of time, were syncretized. So, we're actually going to start with castration today. According to Hesiod's Theogony, Kronos' father Uranos, the father of the sky, who was a piece of crap dad, he hiding away his more horrific children, like the 50-headed, 100-handed giants, the Hecatoncheires. Try saying that 5 times fast. It's hard. And they're real in Tartarus. Gaia, Mother Earth, fearing that her husband was becoming too controlling, too powerful, too tyrannical, charged her children, the Titans, with overtaking her husband and taking their rightful place as the rulers of the cosmos. One of her children, only one of them, came up and accepted this task. Kronos, the god of the harvest. Being relatively unimportant, nobody expected Kronos to have been the god to take this mantle, but he did. Kronos took his sickle and went to his father, castrating him, making him no longer able to have children. His last daughter, according to some, Aphrodite. Long story that we do not have time to get into today. After being castrated, Uranos gave up his title as the king of the gods to his son Kronos. Kronos then took the Titaness Rhea to be his bride, and together they ruled for many years, until a prophecy saying that Kronos would be overthrown by his children like he did to his father before him. Not wanting this to happen, instead of doing the reasonable thing and not having kids, he decided to eat his children. Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Adonis, later known as Hades, and then Poseidon. His son Zeus, who Rhea replaced with a rock when Kronos was about to eat him, survived and later fulfilled the prophecy, freeing his siblings and becoming the new king of the gods. Goya's Saturn devouring his son takes place when Kronos starts eating his children, Goya painted this painting in a series of black paintings. In this painting, it is a reflection of how time eats all. Nearing the end of his life, Goya was thinking about time more and more. Goya started painting relatively late in his life, compared to his contemporaries at least. He worked during the Romantic period, and it reflects in his paintings. His paintings typically deal with darker topics than most Romantic period paintings were dealing with. He dealt with topics like death, war, and the plight of the common people. He didn't do much changing the people's faces, making them still as wrinkled and withered with age as they probably would have looked in real life. He took lighting cues from the Baroque, but living in France during the Revolution, he was intimately familiar with war. Saturn devouring his son was painted near the end of Goya's life, and it has been suspected to have many meanings. From the toll of time to the inevitability of death, the muted color palette contrasts with the red blood coming out of the sun's neck stub and Saturn's mouth. I don't know which son is being devoured, but Kronos, in the original myth, swallowed his sons. But a more striking artwork is created when Kronos bites the son's head off. J. Scott Morgan, in his article The Mystery of Goya's Saturn, said that the painting still evokes in me an interior terror, a sense of isolation, loneliness, and grief. I agree with him, and Goya's life was a sad one, and it's reflected in this painting. To me, the painting Saturn devouring his children represents the fallibility of man. Those who are heroes inevitably turn into villains in someone else's story. Kronos never thought he was wrong in the mythology. He always thought he was right until he was overthrown and thrown into Tartarus for his corruption. It's about how time withers all. Time can heal all wounds, but legacy and history changes depending on who writes it. This is a legacy piece, one of Goya's final works of art, a desperate attempt to make something for this world, a bid to be remembered by. No one wants to die at death. People live on in the memories of others. Myths and legends change and warp, like the varnish of an old painting yellowing with time, withering away all the original intentions of the piece. Time eats all, Kronos devours his children, everyone dies. Honestly, I am a kind of morbid person. Like Goya, I reflect on life and the nature of it a lot. I laugh in the face of death, why be scared of a constant? But I think Francisco Goya was scared of death. Unlike his contemporaries, he was old, in an age where most artists at the time were masters by their 30s. He wasn't until near the end of his life. Most of Goya's paintings fall under the category of history paintings, including this one. It tells a story of how ultimately time cannot be stopped. Even if the hero comes in and throws his father into Tartarus, destiny and legacy are two sides of the same coin. Zeus was destined to overthrow Kronos. Goya's legacy is this piece. In a series of 14, there's a reason this one stood out to me. I've only scratched the surface of this painting. Through mythological understanding, we can gain more from paintings than we ever would be able to without. And I hope this has reflected that. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. I might make more videos like this if this one becomes popular enough. If not, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you later. Bye!